Hi everyone and welcome to Isolan Language. I live in the Netherlands and I'm bilingual in French and English and currently learning two languages, and I've tried to learn a couple of more languages, but I will explain everything in the video. So I am French, but I speak also Creole from Reunion Island. So some of you might know when people say Creole, you have to say which Creole, because I think it's pretty difficult to define like how exactly Creole is. It's a language because you can communicate. It's based on other language as well, so it's a mix of a bit of different languages. So I speak Creole, Réunionnese, and I speak French, and both of them are my native languages. As for English, I mean this video is in English, so I guess it's clear I've learned it at school and especially on my own time. I remember I was still really young and I discovered Twitter. And at the time, I was a big fan of Nicki Minaj, and Twitter was all in English. So I had to deal with that. And with that in mind, I start to have a call as well with people on online language exchange. And that's kind of how I started well. Um, I studied also Japanese in high school. The thing with Japanese was that I really liked the way it sounded, and also one of my favorite childhood animation was it was not a cartoon, it was an anime, and it was Fruit Basket. I discovered a bit later that that was Japanese, and when I was about to go to high school, I already liked a lot of like anime. So I decided, okay, let's do that because I also want to work in international relation, and I really like the tone. Like I'm someone that really like language tonalities and the way Japanese sound like, hi, そうですか? Hi. And this kind of like, I have a bit of like higher pitch, I guess, when I try to speak Japanese. Like, おめでとうございます。私の名前はネイシです。3年で日本語を勉強しましたけど、今、私の日本語、本当下手です。はい。So when I speak Japanese, as you can see, my tone is a bit high pitch. I tend to speak high pitch in some languages, and I just liked it. But Japanese has three ways of writing, like hiragana, katakana, and kanji. And I have to say that was a drawback for me. I liked it. I still love it. I will still study it. But once I've finished, or not finished, but once I've reached a certain level on other languages, that I also mentioned it on my video of my 2022 goals. But at the moment, I can't focus on Japanese because I have another Asian similar based language, which is Korean, and in some time it's just like my mind cannot focus. Like for example, uh, Dosho-kwan, it's really Dosho-kan in Japanese and Dosho-kwan in Korean, and you have all of those things which make my brain freeze. But learning Japanese helped me learn Korean. And learning Korean actually was not on the top of my list. When I was in high school, I mentioned I was in like, I had the regular classes, but I also had Japanese classes, which were also people from other classes, so not only people from my own classes. So among those people, I became friends with them, and some of them liked it. Korean, K-pop, and all of those. And I really hated it at the beginning. I was like, that sound, like the language, like I cannot. But it grew on me. Some of my friends really pushed it, and I eventually liked it. And I've always had been, I gonna put big bracket right now, fascinated by North Korea. Not in the good sense, but I might talk about it in another video. But I'm a bit, since I was 13 and or maybe 12, I discovered North Korea was a dictatorship, and I wanted to go there, like just to understand. But when I was like, okay, you cannot go there, and then 5 6 years later, I discovered South Korea through entertainment, and I enjoyed it. But I liked a lot Korean dramas. I like drama. Like I watch Japanese drama, Chinese drama, Korean drama, Tyler Corn. I watch Turkish drama. Like I'm okay. Like I just like to be entertained. But with Korean, I just there is so many new content, and the style of Korean drama and Japanese drama are so different. So I really connected well. Korean, I started learning on my own because I traveled to Korea in 2014. I was 20 at the time. It was my first big trip, but I was with two other friend of mine, and I went there for 45 days. So obviously before going, I wanted to know some Korean. So I was like, it's time. You got this, and I realized, oh, it's quite similar. Not quite, but there's a couple of things that I understand because I studied Japanese. And with that in mind, I kept some time, very and consistently, um, this at the back of my mind, like, oh, Korean, right? Until last year, or like 2 years ago, when I discovered, I think it was last year, I discovered the refold method. And I was like, okay, which language I can use to try this? And I was like, oh, Korean, okay, because I anyway watch a lot of things in Korean, and I'm working from home, so that's the best. And I joined the Discord, and I discovered so many crazy things that you can do to learn languages, and that are fun, that are easy, and yeah, doesn't require a lot of crazy information, or like, yeah, all the resources you can find them on, I don't know, YouTube, on Netflix, on Naver. I have a lot of things for that. Like I might as well explain again. Like I did a video on how I do my routine, but there is so much resources. So especially with Anki, in the span of like 6 months, in combination with taking some class on Clubhouse, like informal class that will go through books, I really improved. And recently I decided that I'm gonna formally take classes, and I reached B1, for the class. So I will go to B1 level, and without never really formally have study it, so I'm quite happy with the result. And I will go on with my other language, which are a bit on the lower side, I have to say. And with Korean also, when I speak Korean, I sound a bit weird, like 이렇게 조금 있었어요. 근데 요즘에 한국어를 안 공부했어. 근데 2월부터 한국어 수업을 다닐 거예요. 그래서 이렇게 천천히 한국어를 이야기 잘 할 수 있어요? 알수 거예요? 음. So yeah, I have a lot of things to work on for Korean, but I enjoy the process. And my other languages, those are two separate languages, Macedonian and Bulgarian, because I lived in those two countries. I've learned Cyrillic and I've learned vocabs from both languages. I've lived longer in Bulgaria, and I had a close relation with the language because the person that I was with at the time was also a native of Bulgaria. So yeah. With Bulgarian, my method was a bit different. I found that amazing list that I will try to uh, either put the name down below, but basically it's a list of vocab that it's like super important. Like it's like the basic of the basic, you know. And with that list, I've learned some grammar, and I could really make like a basic communication of like what I wanted. Like I could say, I don't know, I am tired today because yesterday I went to the gym, and I could say basic things like this easily because I had this like list of words that I've learned. Like it's really good. Like if it's a language that you want to tackle, to have like a quick start, I really recommend using that. You can build this list by your own. I did that for Bulgarian because I believe at the time they did not have Bulgarian. But later on, so recently, I've actually start learning a bit of Dutch, and I went back to that list, and guess what? They had it, so I bought that list. It was super cheap, and it comes with the vocab list set like in a certain way, so it's not by category, but it's like okay, a theme or like a scene, right? And it also comes with the audio. That's really important because I mean I like to try as much as possible to make my point in a clear manner where people don't have to think of which accent is like super strong or whatever. Like I want to make it to the point. And I think if you start from early to be really like hearing a lot of like natural language and sound, that's the best way that you can keep up with the like flow of natural language learning process. There is also like Thai that I'm kind of interested in, like because I watch La Corn and I'm that type of person. If I watch for a long time something, I'm kind of interested. So I really like how they sound. Okay, yeah, I have this thing that whenever I try to learn a language is like how they sound, but I have this for Arabic as well. But Arabic is another story. But with Thai, they have this really, I don't know if it's inflectuation, but they really have this Kai, Kong Kai, Sawadee Kong Kai Ha. Like this really, I like it, and it might be on my list. But with also Portuguese, I've really always wanted to go to Brazil, and what I wanted to do was to go to the carnival, and I heard or I read that you can even go to the carnival and be on an official school if you stay for like 2 months and you go to a school there. Uh, it's kind of a dream, I guess, that I have. I guess I might not be able to do it so easily, but if I learn the language, uh, and I go there, I will definitely connect better with people. Sometimes people say like, am I Brazilian? Maybe because of my vibe, I don't know, but I'm like, okay, I want to go there and discover what the this place has to like offered and show me, and all this region. Like I've never been to South America, but I already speak Spanish, so I want as well to do it with Brazilian, with Portuguese Brazilian. Yeah. So that's are my main languages, and I hope you enjoyed. I will maybe try to do a video like I speak in those language, but I'm a bit shy. So let's see how this goes. Stay tuned for more language learning content, and let me know what is the new language that you are planning to learn but that you're too busy already with your languages. So enjoy. Bye.